Hey guys, what's up? This is Fula with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. So, another thing was on my mind basically. First and foremost, sorry for the airplane noises. Um, they fly by. I kind of close to whatchamacallit, airport. Um, but anyway, let's begin. Now, recently there was a post and it said that you shouldn't. Nature Boy said you shouldn't chase a bag. You should chase your soul or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but that actually goes hand in hand. Um, you know, to chase a bag is to chase your soul because of the simple fact that working is a form of salvation. You know. Um, all right, cool. No problem. I will. No worries. Now, as far as working is concerned, there's different types of work you can do. You have to work on your soul, of course. You have to work in the physical world, of course, and you have to, how should I put it, work in the unseen as well. So all of this is coincides with each other. Um, and that's the thing about nature with when we talk about nature is truly in balance. It's in complete total balance, but unfortunately, with Nature Boy, he has such an imbalance that it's like it basically has like altered the, how should I say it, the flow of things in his camp basically. So of course, the ancestors, they knew basically that we were going to experience these things, so they left things behind about these things. And so I'm going to go into a text in regards that is about earning a living basically. And so this text is pretty concise, but it has a lot of information, and it pretty much just goes in the face of what Nature Boy stands for. I mean, when we look at it, before I go into this text, I mean, all enlightened beings worked. I mean, Emotep, he was a physician and like a scribe, and I think he did a lot of other things. So, but he was a holy man at the same time, but he worked. Jesus Christ, the guy who claims he is, he was a shepherd. He herded animals, so that is like strenuous labor, you know? And basically, in traditional African society, if you were a learned man, if you were highly like learned, when you look at the manuscript, there's a prism in the manuscript. You're reading the manuscript, you're reading the manuscript, and then when you get to that prism, you go out and do some work. That was the regiment. Study, work, and then worship. That was our regiment. And in order to be a master teacher, you had to have a degree or a trade in some kind of business. You couldn't take money from the people. And the reason why you couldn't take money from the people is because it would guard against corruption. Because if you're taking money from the people, you're going to tell them anything they want to hear. And it necessarily might not be the right thing that they need to hear. So let's say if you say the right thing that needs to be heard and the people disagree with it, you have nothing to worry about because you already have a business. You don't have to worry about their money or anything coming in because you already have your own money. What do we see with Nature Boy? His whole setup is dependent upon people's donations and people sending him crap. He has not lifted one finger himself to make some kind of agricultural gain, some kind of like trade or something like that. Being that he's in Mexico, like he can find things in Mexico that may be rare in United States, and he can trade them. But of course, he's not supposed to be there, obviously, because he has no jurisdiction there. We know how he got there. But let's get into this text though, real quick. Let me highlight a couple of points. Okay. Now, in this text, translated from the original tongue, it says, expend from the good that you have earned by means of trade, and from what we have produced for you from the earth by means of farming. And so when he says we, that's just Gino, God talking, that's just him talking in that language. So that basically means that, by working, you kind of are able to expend to other people. And with Nature Boy, since he doesn't work, he can expend to his followers there. I mean, look at him. Like, look at his followers. Do his followers? Can you honestly say his followers at um, that camp look like they are dignified? Look like that they have esteem or anything? Why? Because he can't even provide for them. That's just the reality. Let's take another point. Basically, let's go. In some African traditions, they say that trade is obligatory upon you, for it is 9/10 of the provisions of God. And then another one says, verily, God loves his servant to be gainfully employed. So with that being said, he claims Christ consciousness, he claims that he's God, he claims all of this stuff. Yet he's doing something that God hates, basically. He's doing something that's not going to gain him any favor with God, you know. Um, Now he talks about chasing his soul or securing his soul, but his soul just becomes more corrupted as we go on and on and on. He just comes up with these new kind of things like out of nowhere, and I don't even think he realizes some of the stuff he says. So if you want to talk about souls, let's keep it in a balanced perspective. One of the sages said, the best of you is he who does not give up his worldly affairs for his hereafter, nor gives up his hereafter for his worldly affairs. Boom, there you have it. Balance, keyword. You focus on both things, not just one thing. You know, there's the balance right there. Another thing, from one of the sages. He said, verily, I hate to see a man idle, nearly occupied with his worldly affairs, nor being occupied for his hereafter. Let's be honest. Do we really see Nature Boy doing any kind of spiritual practices or anything like that? Or do we see him on YouTube all day and Instagram Live all day, saying basically a lot of hot air, you know? Okay, let's go to something even more heavy. It says, truly, the profession of one of you is better than him being aimless, even if it means being in a profession of trade like selling pepper grass seed. Well, let's be honest, they don't sell any kind of seeds. I mean, they don't even grow any seeds. You know, I would give them the benefit of the doubt, but, I mean, project failed on the doodle melons. I mean, you would think that if he cultivated those, he can sell them, but obviously those weren't cultivated, So there you have it with that. And folks, this is just like common sense things that you have to think about. I don't know how it passes you, but yeah, these are just common um, common sense things that should be realized, but I guess they're not realized. Here's like a little fable that was told. There was a man who was carrying a bundle of firewood around his neck. Someone said, "Where are you going with that? Your friends will suffice you where you with what you need." But that person said, "Leave me with what I'm doing. It has been related to me that whoever falls into a humiliating situation while seeking after the permitted, then a good hereafter is obligatory for him." So, I mean, me personally, I would rather like have a good means to suffice myself than rely on people's donations and things like that. It's not befitting to do that. And I guess Nature Boy thinks that, donations are, what did he call it? What kind of currency does he call it? He calls it some kind of currency. I forgot, but I guess he thinks that's currency. But in reality, afraid to say it's not. It's even more humiliating. And it's making his followers look humiliating too. Now let's see. Now, this is another saying said that to us, true worship is not planting your feet and allowing others to take care of you, but true worship is to begin your day seeking after your daily bread, then taking account of yourself. Then, after that, setting about to worship. I don't think Nature Boy really takes account of himself. I think he takes account of like other people, like his detractors and his so-called wives and his followers and whatnot, but no account to himself, and not no true worship either. You know, you have to ask yourself, who does he worship though? At the same time, you know. Yeah. Let's see what else. Okay. So one of the reasons why people become impoverished, and we see this with Nature Boy, is the weakening of reason, right? And the loss of the mental scope in his goals. Who's to say that maybe his goals weren't sincere at first, but I truly doubt it. But the fact that he has no reasoning, yeah, we can see why he's what he is. So there it is. You know. One of the sages also said that wealth and its production is an obligation, for it is the stimulus for being generous, and generosity is that which makes you safe from grievous punishment. And beware of begging from people, for truly begging is the lowest level of earning for real men. So, real men, keyword, real men. Nature Boy is not a real man. Because if he was a real man, he wouldn't call himself Nature Boy. He would call himself Nature Man. But we know he is not a real man. In fact, we know he's lower than the level of a woman. And I'm not saying that in a insulting way of a woman. I'm just saying in terms of like productivity and taking account and taking initiative. He's lower than a woman. you know. And then it says God is angry with the complete idle person. What does Nature Boy do? He's idle all the time. Some of the recommended earnings are, let me see. And the crazy thing is, he's in the place where he can get those earnings. He's in like the perfect environment to make those earnings. Let me go and see. Let me see what the recommended earnings are real quick. Yeah, man. That guy is crazy. Hopefully some of his followers see this and they recognize, you know. And there's nothing wrong with like having a little bling bling sometimes. You just have to be in balance, you know. I mean, if you have lawful earnings, why not build like some comforts, you know, constructing a house or something, having some spacious rooms, like remodeling your house, you know, getting a chill apartment or something like that, you know. Yeah, there's good things that happen from provision, you know. Just have to be in balance. Let's see. Okay, so two of the best things to earn livings is with commerce, you know. Uh, and the reason why is because trade occurs at every hour in uh, and every moment at all times. There's also social efficiency with result from trade. It has universal benefits, of course. Me myself, I'm in trade, and you know it's good when you are able to work in trade, especially from the convenience of your own home, because you know you're always busy, always working, always shipping, always doing just different things, you know. So yeah, it's a good thing to do. Unfortunately, they haven't tapped into that, and I don't think they will. Another thing is agriculture, because you know with agriculture, you know you can have the proper nourishment of food. Um, Also, clothing and apparel can come from agriculture, and just different sustenance. You know, you can also herd too. You know, he can actually get livestock and raise livestock there, but he's not going to do that, man. He's not going to raise no livestock or anything like that. Hasn't occurred to him to do it, you know. So you know, I was on 18 minutes or so, not too long, but I'm just going to end that live stream right now. You know, I just had to get my spill out. It's a nice Sunday. It's a little bit windy right now, but it's chill, relaxed, quiet. You can hear the birds in the background chirping, and I'm in right in the middle of Babylon. You know, yet the middle of Babylon is more peaceful than Carbon, aka Herpy, aka Stank Stank, aka um, Wine, aka Maury Povich for eternity testing. So yeah, I'm off until the next one. Hope you guys enjoy. Njadama.